Even the world's toughest critic finds himself on the ropes every now and again. And whenever that happens, I make the hot tag to the dummy. Choose from several delicious flavors with no harmful ingredients and no BS. Go to www.w.gg today, enter promo code Lucha Review for your 10% discount on the best energy drink on the planet today. In tonight's episode of Lucha Review, Jason is going to take Manhattan, and I am going to take him to the limit. It is mask versus mask in New York City, Madison Square Garden. Give me that hot tag, and let's burn this house down.
Jason Takes Manhattan is the 8th installment of the Friday the 13th film series, debuting in 1989. Less than 15 minutes of the final cut were actually shot in Manhattan, which is why its nickname amongst the set was Jason Takes Vancouver. Filming that far out is strange to me. Crystal Lake is set in New Jersey, so you'd figure it'd be cheaper for the cast and crew to grab the shots they needed in Times Square and just haul everything across the George Washington Bridge for the rest of it, right? Maybe there was an issue with permits? It's easy to tell which shots were done where, seeing as how some New Yorkers sound like actual New Yorkers, while others sound more like Bret the Hitman Hart. Perhaps the production was simply rushed, because goodness knows the boys in editing failed to catch David Lopan over here, looking directly at the camera. The budget went cheap on fake blood too. This looks like yogurt smeared all over the window, while Jason looks like he's covered in guacamole. Our story begins with a high school graduation party aboard a cruise ship bound for New York, and we meet Rennie, a gifted writer who won't go anywhere without her dog Toby. Excitable teenagers on a cruise ship. They have access to firearms, and there are only 2 chaperones? With or without Jason, someone here is probably gonna fucking die. What kind of a name is Rennie anyway? Is it short for Renaissance? By the way, she has to be the worst dog parent on planet Earth because she spends half the movie looking for Toby in the 178 times he goes missing. Elsewhere on the ship, students who look to be in their early 30s are engaging in illegal activity and playing games enjoyed by nobody under the age of 65. Meanwhile, Jason's mission to kill unruly teens is made easier with a few upgrades. For example, young Jason is following the cruise ship from under the sea, while regular Jason has somehow mastered the art of teleportation. Nobody really makes it difficult for Jason to do what he does best. Some of them just sit there screaming for a whole 45 seconds before he kills them, and the acting is so fucking bad that you're happy to see them die. Young Jason seems to share a bizarre bond with Rennie, and her awkward behavior is explained when we learn about the trauma that comes with being assaulted by a fucking zombie during a swimming lesson. The survivors that abandoned ship eventually do make it to New York, where David Lopan has clearly settled his tab and left the diner. A few more people get killed, the dog goes missing again, and the chase ends up in the sewers, where another Canadian man warns our survivors that the tunnels are going to fill with toxic waste. Maybe that was a nod to the Ninja Turtles? Because I'll tell you what, folks, I lived a few miles outside of the city for 30 years, and not once did I ever hear of the sewers being flooded with toxic waste. More confusion settles in when Jason loses his mask and appears intoxicated for it. The man has seen more demises than Wile E. Coyote. You mean to tell me all we gotta do is rip his mask off to stop him? Oh shit! If that be the case, that makes Jason Voorhees a legitimate luchador. Under normal circumstances, this film would be garbage, but for me, it's championship gold. And I know I'm being biased, but there are 2 things you need to consider. First, I was a 10-year-old kid in the New York City area when this came out, and Jason Takes Manhattan was my perfect gateway to horror films. And second, let's be honest, Jason can and has done worse with pretty much every movie that's followed this one. Tune in next week and see for yourself. Subscription is free, and Be sure to share this video and treat yourself to some Lucha Review swag at my Redbubble store. Shirts, buttons, stickers, and other fun items are waiting for you in the link below. Thanks for the hot tag, and I'll see you next time.